The world shrinks to a blur of white. Snow falls in a suffocating curtain, the wind howling, stealing warmth with every gust. Winter storms have tested humankind for millennia. To be caught in its grip is to face one of nature's greatest challenges. History is filled with those who survived by knowledge, not just courage. They read the snow, understood the wind, and built shelter from what threatened them. This guide is about that knowledge. How to build a snow cave, a debris hut, manage fire, and stay dry. The storm is powerful, but the human spirit, armed with knowledge, is stronger. The snow cave is a remarkable shelter, using the insulating power of snow to protect you from the wind and cold. First, choose a deep, compacted snowdrift on the leeward side of a hill or rock, never under avalanche paths or weak cornices. Probe the drift to ensure it's at least 2 meters deep and wide enough for your shelter. Dig a horizontal tunnel just big enough to crawl through, then excavate upwards and outwards to create a domed chamber. Keep the walls at least 30 centimeters thick for insulation and strength. Your sleeping platform should be higher than the entrance, trapping warm air above and letting cold air sink and escape. A well-built snow cave can stay around 0 degrees Celsius inside, even in brutal cold. Ventilation is critical. Poke 1 or 2 small holes through the ceiling and keep them clear. Mark vent holes with a stick outside and use a candle as an air quality indicator. If it sputters, add more ventilation. Never neglect this step. Fresh air is non-negotiable. With smart design, a snow cave becomes a fortress against the cold. Knowledge and attention to detail make all the difference. When snow is too shallow for a cave, the debris hut is your best option, built from fallen branches, leaves, pine needles, and moss. Find a dry, sheltered spot, ideally at the base of a large tree, away from low-lying areas where cold air and water collect. Start with a strong ridgepole propped on a tree fork, then lean smaller branches along both sides to form the frame. Angle the ribs steeply to shed rain or snow, and keep the entrance small and away from the wind. Gather massive amounts of dry, fluffy debris, leaves, needles, moss, and pile it at least 1 meter thick over the frame. The thicker the insulation, the warmer you'll be. Pack it down to fill gaps and block wind. Inside, create a thick mattress of the same debris, at least 30 centimeters deep, to insulate yourself from the ground. When you crawl in, burrow into the insulation and pull more debris in behind you to seal the entrance. Your own body heat will keep you surprisingly warm in this cocoon. The debris hut is simple, but with proper insulation, it's a lifesaver. Nature provides the materials. You provide the know-how. In the forest, warmth is woven from the ground up. Fire is life in a survival situation, providing warmth, drying clothes, melting snow, and lifting spirits. Never build a fire inside a snow cave. Instead, build it just outside, sheltered from the wind, and use a snow wall to reflect heat toward the entrance. To maximize warmth, build a reflector wall of green logs or packed snow behind your fire, bouncing heat back toward you or your shelter. In a debris hut, open flames are risky. Instead, heat rocks in your fire, then carefully place them in a pit inside your shelter for gentle, lasting warmth. Always handle hot rocks with care. They're extremely hot. Build your fire on green logs or stones to avoid melting snow and mud. When melting snow for water, start with a little water in your pot, then add snow gradually to prevent scorching. Fire is a powerful tool. Use it wisely and with respect. Your safety depends on your ability to control it. In the cold, getting wet is a direct threat to your life. Water steals heat from your body fast. Most often it's your own sweat that soaks you, not rain or snow. Dress in multiple thin layers, not one thick one, so you can adjust as you work and rest. Remove a layer before strenuous activity. Put it back on when you stop. Never let yourself break a heavy sweat. Slow down or shed a layer if you're overheating. Avoid cotton. It loses insulation when wet and dries slowly. Choose wool or synthetics like fleece, which insulate even when damp. If your clothes get wet, drying them is top priority. Use a drying rack near the fire not directly over flames. You can also dry small items inside your jacket, using your body heat. Staying dry is a constant battle, but it's one you must win. Vigilance and discipline keep you alive. In winter, dry means survival. The right tools make survival far easier. A sturdy, fixed-blade knife is essential for carving, shelter building, and fire prep. A small folding saw saves time and energy when cutting branches. Reliable fire starting is critical. Carry a ferro rod, lighter, waterproof matches, and some tinder-like cotton balls with petroleum jelly. A metal pot or cup lets you boil water for safety, cook, melt snow, and even dig if needed. Boiling is the surest way to purify water. Never skip it. A headlamp with extra batteries frees your hands for work after dark. These few items, a knife, saw, fire starters, pot, and headlamp, form the core of a winter survival kit. They're lightweight, but their value is immense. With the right tools, your skills become truly effective. History is full of lessons about survival and failure. The Franklin expedition, trapped in Arctic ice, had technology but lacked local knowledge, and all were lost. In contrast, Finnish soldiers in the Winter War used their deep understanding of the land to outlast a larger enemy. They built shelters, stayed warm, and moved with the environment, not against it. Mountain climbers who survive mishaps do so by staying calm, applying training, and respecting nature's power. Survival is never an accident. It's the result of preparation, training, and respect for the environment. Those who underestimate the cold or panic are the ones who perish. The true victors carry the most important tool, knowledge. Their legacy is a blueprint for our own survival. The wind may howl and the snow may fall, but the cold doesn't have to be your enemy. The difference between a victim and a survivor is the ability to see resources, not obstacles. Building a shelter is as much a mental exercise as a physical one. Calm, clear thinking replaces panic. Each step, from choosing a site to carving a vent, is an act of taking control. These skills connect us to our ancestors and awaken our own resilience. Don't wait for an emergency. Practice these skills in safe conditions. Build a debris hut, dig a snow cave, learn to use your knife and fire steel. The more you practice, the more natural survival becomes. Preparation is the foundation. Knowledge is what gives courage its power. In the white silence of the storm, knowledge is your fire, your shelter, and your guide home. Survival is a story you write with skill and wisdom.